welcome back to Warships Blitz with Terry. Today, we are finally doing the thing that I wanted to do for a long time, and I've always gotten distracted by Shiny that Wargaming brought out. We are looking at the Aoba, the Japanese Tier 6 heavy cruiser. So, the Japanese tech tree switches from light cruisers to heavy cruisers in Tier 5 with the Furutaka. And the Aoba was actually supposed to be, I think, the third or fourth ship in the Furutaka class, but since they had some problems, they decided to make a new class out of this. And she's had quite a busy time during the Pacific theater in the Second World War. She's been in multiple operations. She's been bombed and sunk and raised and bombed and sunk again, and it's been quite a busy ship. So what is she like in World of Warships? Well, she's a Japanese cruiser, for starters, which means she's a bit sneaky. The guns aren't the greatest, and she's quite quick. So, we've got 23,000 hit points. She actually has a relatively decent armor setup for a cruiser at Tier 6. She's got a 10% citadel protection and a 9% damage reduction, which is more than what you get in the regular light cruisers. And that doesn't mean that you can broadside things, especially not big guns. So battleships will eat through the side armor like there's no tomorrow. They will just blap you in the side. And other heavy cruisers as well, if you're giving flat broadsides, will do large amounts of damage. She is very, very quick with 34 knots. And turn time in my setup of 6 seconds is pretty good as well. She has, like I said, she's a heavy cruiser, so she gets the 203mm guns. She only gets 6 of them though. So she has 3 guns less than the light cruisers of the same tier. And the reload isn't the greatest because they're heavy cruiser guns. But I've got the reload down to almost 9 seconds. And the range is pretty good, with almost 11 kilometers. So this already tells you a bit about this ship. Sneaky, fast, relatively maneuverable, long-range, heavy cruiser guns. They do a good amount of high explosive damage and a good amount of armor-piercing damage as well, with an 8% fire chance. The turret traverse with 8 degrees is on the slow side, so you kind of, if you have to dogfight, you kind of have to better move the ship around than trying to move the guns around. But this tells you something about this ship already. She's a stealthy ranged ship. She doesn't shine when it comes to dogfights with other ships. Although the armor piercing can do a large amount of damage against enemy light cruisers at close range, she's not the greatest dogfighter out there. She does have torpedoes, and they're Japanese torpedoes, so they're very good torpedoes. They do 4,000 damage and have a 7.5 kilometer range. She gets 2 quad launchers, 1 on each side. Anti-air is, it's there. It doesn't do a great amount of damage, but it's there. And the surface detection is, in my setup, down to 6.6 kilometers. So, in the base setup, she won't be able to stealth fire, but the way I've set her up, she does. Let's get to the elite bonus. I'm going with the elite gun operator because the torpedo have a 1-minute reload time. So you don't get to fire them all that often, and you only have 2 quad launchers. She's not a destroyer. She can stealth torp, but you do need to use your guns, and I like, especially if you're in a close range fight, you need any reload that you can get, because you only have 6 of the guns. How did I get to this? So equipment wise, I've got the main battery mod for the main battery reload time. I would have kind of liked using the traverse speed as well. The torpedo reload booster would have been torpedo reload modification would have been a great equipment slot as well. So all these are very, very good options. Personally, I went with the main battery to get the guns reloading faster. The second slot I went with steering gear mod. The propulsion mod 1 would have been great as well, but I ended up needing a little bit more a little bit more maneuverability out of this thing. The third slot in my cruiser setups is usually also in the steering, in the rudder shift, but in this ship I've gone with the concealment system modification. I've actually had the propulsion mod for a long time, which gets her up to over 37 knots, which is a very, very good speed. But I did decide in the end to switch over to concealment, just because just to get under the 7.5 kilometers and be able to stealth fire torpedoes and basically have the element of surprise. The supplies are supporting that as well, so I've actually got the surface detection high-grade coal in here. I have the improved crew rations for reload, and I've got the refined diesel for ship speed. The captain, or the commander rather, in here. Nothing surprising in the first 3 slots. I do have the air defense export set up for future ships, because the higher tier ships do get the anti-aircraft defense alert skill. And in return, I actually have survivalist rather than the fire supremacy for additional precise aiming, because you do need a bit of hit points. And the exploit weakness actually in here also kind of makes sense, because I have both long-range torpedoes and guns with a very good fire chance. So there's a decent chance that I am actually either torping things that are already on fire or firing at things that have already been torped. Other than that, future skills, obviously interesting, will be the marksman skill. And IFHE probably down the road, because while these 200mm guns are very, very good against other light cruisers, they do lose penetration power at range, and you don't really want to be close range fighting with these things. They are more stealthy, ranged sort of ships. That doesn't mean you can't play them aggressively. You definitely she has got the DPS and the firepower to be aggressive, but you don't really want to get into close range fights with her if you want to avoid it. So why would you play the Japanese tech tree? Well, because there are really, really good ships. I mean, the Aoba is a bit, when it comes to the tier 6 cruisers, she's definitely not the best and the most versatile of them, but she is definitely better than, for example, say the Dallas, and she can carry a game. She's capable of having the damage output to carry a game, definitely. So if she doesn't get outnumbered and flanked and pushed into a corner, then she can be really, really effective. So that's kind of how you want to play her. The reason you want to play her is because you get up to, say, the Miyoko in the next tier, which has 10 200mm guns and 4 triple launchers of torpedoes with very good torpedo range. So the Japanese cruiser tech tree is very, very interesting. I actually haven't played all that much for a long time, just because I've always been busy with something else. But I very much enjoy this, and I think she might be a bit of an underrated ship. She's definitely not the most versatile and the strongest out there, but she's not the weakest either. So let's play a couple of rounds, and I kind of show you what I'm talking about. Okay, we're bottom tier, and we've got a lot of premium ships on the other side. There's a Kaga, which is obviously not fun for us at all. But, well, we're going to load the high explosive, I guess. Although the Atlanta would be a good target for armor piercing. But only if we can fight her at mid-range. So we'll definitely want to be on the far side. There's a bot DD on our side. Who do we have on our side? We've got a Hiryu, Nagato, Colorado, myself, and one Akatsuki. Okay. Let's see where the carrier is scouting. I think the carrier is going to scout my way, isn't he? Definitely I'm going to try and not be... Yeah, the carrier is scouting over an A, so he's going to come straight towards me. And as you know, Kagas have lots and lots of torpedo bombers. So, speed up and see if we can avoid being sunk instantly by this. There we go already. Double fire. We do get some assistance from our carrier. I'm not yet using the damage control because I'm still eating some torps. There's a double drop, but we managed to avoid all but one of them. Okay. Yeah, this is not pleasant if you're getting under heavy carrier attention at the right at the beginning of the game. Okay, there's a bot Farragut. Is it a bot? No, it's not a bot. Okay. So let's turn the ship around. Actually, where are you going, Mr. Farragut? Are you coming through this way? You might want to go for the BB. You see? Yeah, probably. Now he might have torps out this way, so I'm going to slow down a bit rather than the turn. Is he coming? Yeah, he's coming over this way. Hello. And full speed ahead. If he got torps out, we should be able to skirt past them. We got a couple overpens, so we might want to switch over. Yeah, at this range, you want to actually use the high explosives. Speed out again, and that should be the Farragut. Where's he going? Nope, he wiggled away. I got another shot at him. Oh, it's fine. Okay, there's a Nelson. Now the other problem you have with the Aoba is the torpedo arc. Okay, I was just waiting for the Nelson to fire. Okay, he's overshot. So we can turn, because the torpedo arcs are not great. As you can see, full speed ahead. Yeah, he's changed to armor piercing. Torps out at the Nelson. And now we're going to try and kite away as much as we can. Ow, that hurts. Yeah, Nelsons are very, very good at have a very good high explosive. But these torpedoes, or some of these torpedoes at least, might hit. Let's see if we can set him on fire again, or if we can get a flood. Oh, no flood. Okay, 2 torp hits, no flood. Let's take the speed out and see if we can get the Nelson set on fire. Okay, he's turning away from us. Now, careful, Nelsons have the turret front mounted, so they don't actually have to go all that long around. Yeah, that's the secondaries. You're not gonna hit me with those. Oh, there comes the Kaga again. Okay, and I'm down on damage control. That was pretty inevitable. That's a perma-fire on me. Let's see if we can still at least get the Nelson set on fire again. Not really. Okay, where is he? Oh, he got sunk. Okay, where are the torpedo bombers going? Are they going for me? Or are they going for the battleship? They are probably... No, he's dropping the battleship. Okay. We're relatively low on health. But I think we might have spotted the Kaga. And the Kaga is very low. So we should be able to just hit him from here. And that should be the Kaga. Okay. He's done. But he's still got some dive bombers out. So I don't have any more heals. So I'm gonna maneuver rapidly. The Atlanta is out of torp range. And he can actually lob this, but he doesn't have... Yeah, I can lob this as well, my friend. Okay. Oh wait, no, we don't need to torp him. We can get him with guns. Atlanta has torpedoes as well, so we gotta be a bit careful. Oh, Atlanta dead. Okay, that only leaves one ship. There's a battleship over there. We don't have time to kill him anymore. We can just get some shots out against him. But you know, for bottom tier, that wasn't terrible. We've been under constant fire from the carrier. We've been bottom tier. And we still get to set a fire. So that wasn't terrible. Obviously, yeah, we weren't as stealthy as we wanted to be because we had a Kaga chasing us all across. These things are nasty, really, especially if you're not in an AA cruiser. But I'm kind of happy with this game for a bottom tier. We did better than our carrier, and we did better than the Nagato. So well done to our Akatsuki for doing a crap load of damage. And yeah, the enemy team hasn't been super effective. The Kaga has been doing a good amount of damage. Mostly on me, really, but let's do this again. And see if we get a game without a carrier and I can be a bit stealthier. Okay, that's better. No carrier. And we're top tier. We've got New Mexico, triple New Mexico, a Furutaka, and 3 DDs. Okay. And we're playing on one of my favorite maps, Southern Archipelago. Just because this is always so interesting with the two flanks. So, our Mutsuki is very sneaky, and so am I. We're gonna stick with the armor piercing, because I'm assuming that the Mutsuki is gonna spot the DDs way before I do. So I might get some range shots into them, and they do more damage. Now, what I was saying with the torpedo arcs, right? The torpedo arcs are actually better on the rear than on the front. So she is quite good for kiting, where you're actually running from an enemy team. But not necessarily forward. You do have to give an awful lot of broadside to catch anybody with the forward torpedo arcs. Okay, Mutsuki is bailing. Probably not gonna outspot a destroyer, so let's just wait for a minute and see if anybody's coming around here. Slow down a little bit. I can outspot any cruiser in this ship. Not sure with the Wanghei. Wanghei is very sneaky as well. Maybe not the Wanghei, but destroyers I probably can't outspot them. Enemy target spotted. Where did you go? They're usually coming around that island. Either they're putting up positioning defensively. Okay, there's a battleship. There was definitely a DD in the cup. I'm not seeing him. Okay, let's take care of that battleship then. Our team captured the area. Where are your guns looking? Okay, let's distract you from the Mutsuki. Look, cruiser. Look, yummy cruiser coming. Look, cruiser coming your way. Okay, torps out. Are you paying attention? No, he's paying attention. Bollocks. Okay, let's turn. He's actually dodging torps here, but he's on fire. And we've got 2 torp hits. Unfortunately, no flooding. So, together with the Mutsuki, we should be able to kill this guy. Okay. Now, second set out. And Mutsuki, you go as well. Are you having torps ready? No. Ow. Okay. Now we need to open up the distance because there's another battleship over there. It's 4 torp hits. Can the Mutsuki torp should be able to finish this guy off. So we are yeah, there we go. So we want to get away from that New Mexico over there. Which torps are earlier on the reload? We hit the enemy. Okay, let's just kite away because he's pushing. The Mutsuki can kind of come up behind him, and I'm going to be bait again. Hello, cruiser, yummy cruiser. There you go. Ow! Not turning fast enough here. I'm a bit too close at 6 kilometers. Okay, torp zone reload. So let's get the torps out. And then just reverse and see if we can... Oh, he's turning in. Okay, someone is smarter than they look. Okay, that's still got 1 torp hit in. And that's a flood. And the Mutsuki torps are failing as well, but now I need to open up the distance because I am too close. And I'm relatively low on health. So I might actually stop shooting at this point and see if we can go undetected. And let him shoot at the Mutsuki for a while. So my torps are almost off reload. I need to get a bit closer to get the torps in range. Okay, Mutsuki, can you please disengage? He's slowing down. That's a battleship driver who actually knows what he's doing. So I assume he's gonna speed up again. Yes. So there go my torps. Okay. I'm not too happy about the amount of health that I've got left. But he seems to be focusing more on the Mutsuki at this point. So see if we can outturn him here. Come on, give me broadside. Don't look at the torps, look at me. There we go. Boom. And that's a flood. And he controls the flood. And I might be dead here. Oh, no. Speed change threw his aim off. Okay, do I have enough firepower to kill him from there? I should be. Before he reloads. There we go. He's dead. That was a good battleship player. I'll give you that for tier 6. There's a DD left. Okay, let's hunt that guy. So, you see, this is what you can do. Especially if you can have a destroyer that you're playing with. Who is... Is he stationary? I don't know. If you have a destroyer you're playing with who's supporting. Yes, he's stationary. Now he's moving. Do I get another shot in? Probably not anymore. One. Oh, missed. Yeah, so if you get like a destroyer playing with you who can support you with this, and you can distract battleships by, well, being a cruiser and being a very, very good target for them, battleships without support are going to struggle. And we've got the unknown hero because we did, well, a lot more damage than anybody else. But that Congo, that was from the Congo. That Congo played really well. Caught four people who were low on health. Well done, you. So yes, this is the Aoba. This is one way how you can play her. You do take a lot of damage from battleship shells, but that's true for every light cruiser. You don't have too many guns, but you can set fires relatively easily with this ship. The torpedoes do a lot of damage, and if you're sneaky and there are no carriers in play who are focusing you down, you can either make yourself a bait or then disengage by just stopping to fire your guns. Right? I mean, again, my surface detection on this ship is at 6.68 kilometers. So I look at, say, actually, let's check the Wang here because I'm not sure what the surface is. 6.5. So she has almost as good as the Wang in terms of surface detection. And for something like the DeGrasse has an almost 9 kilometer surface detection. So try disengaging in one of these things. No. That doesn't mean that the DeGrasse is not a good ship. Absolutely. She's one of my favorite ships. But when it comes to sneaky play and being able to have the first shot off, and being able to disengage and, well, do things and then reappear from a different angle, that is something that the Aoba is very, very good at. So, well, there we go. The Aoba. Not the strongest, but as you can see, it's totally possible to do 70,000 damage in this ship and win a game. So, if you want to go through the Japanese tech tree, tier 6 is a bit of a grind, but I think it's not actually that terrible if you play her to her strength. Just be aware that she's a very different ship from the tier 6 light cruisers that you might be used to. She's no Nürnberg, she's no DeGrasse, she's definitely not a Dallas. So that's how I play her, that's how I like playing her, and I've been relatively successful with it. So that's it for today. Thanks everybody, and we'll have last weekend's video coming up this weekend. So I'll see you then. Bye bye, Terry out.